What's up, y'all, man? Y'all know it's really Quan, man. As y'all see, we've been dropping bangers, man. This reaction to the Dave Ramsey shit, I'm loving it because I'm getting different perspectives. I'm learning different things of how different people think. All right, in this real estate game, and there's so many ways to skin a cat. All right, this video we about to watch today. The title of this one is "I Can't Afford to Buy a House in This Market." Let me see the date on it.
Joins us
The
up.
date on this is 2023. All right, so yeah, I want to see the perspective from there. Let's just see what they say. I might got some questions that they answer in this video, and likewise for me. Let's see.
Next, she's in Arizona. Caitlin, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How can we help today?
Yeah, I just had a quick question in regards to overcoming a negative mindset. So I'm 29. I live out in Arizona. I'm a single mom. And as you know, our housing market has been Giselle intense, to say the least.
I heard that about
And
Arizona.
I'm paying about 60% of my take-home pay in rent.
Ouch.
I can't buy in this market. I don't make enough. I pulled down to about 40 last year. And I just feel like I'm spinning my wheels, and that treading water feeling is really starting to get to me. So I was hoping you could provide some insight on that if possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Caitlin. I'm like, I would feel that too if more than half the paycheck is going to housing. That's a big chunk. So tell me a little bit more about kind of the situation, because you are obviously in a more expensive. I don't know if it's an area or apartment or what it is. Is there other options for you to change locations, just to at least catch your breath and bring it down to at least, we recommend 25-30%, but even if it went down to 35%, that would change your world.
Right. Yeah. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment right now, and I pay about $2,000 a month. I had looked at going down to a 1-bedroom. The only trouble with that, it would only save me maybe $300 a month. But I actually work from home, so and I have my son here with me too. So I don't know how we would make that work.
Yeah. No, 2-bedroom. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Have you
two
priced?
beds I have. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna just say, have you driven 20 miles either direction of where you currently are just to see other prices?
Right now, I'm already kind of on the edge of what I would consider to be a safe area. So
Okay.
I can look maybe a little bit deeper into Phoenix, but I just want to make sure we're still safe and everything's good like that. So I work remotely, so I could probably buy in other states and other markets, but my son's father's here, and I really just don't want to leave my home state. So
For sure, for sure.
Understandable.
And how much do you make a year?
I pulled down about 40 last year.
Okay.
What are you doing for work?
I work at a call center for an insurance company.
Okay. So there's only two ways we can go about this. I mean, we can spend less and we can make more. So do you have any payments in your life that we can get rid of? Do you have any debt?
I don't have any debt. I do have that going for me. I don't have any debt, and I do anticipate my income going up. I had a conversation yesterday with my supervisor that made me feel like maybe something close is on the horizon for getting my pay up. I think it's just this waiting period between making more money and trying to find something cheaper to rent. It's mentally been draining me, I think.
For
But
sure. Well, especially as a single mom. I mean, you got your how old's your son?
I think the fact that she was this vulnerable and like open, I think that's pretty dope, and I think that's actually the first step towards seeing the results that she want to see. I ended up reading Rich Dad Poor Dad after my mentor was telling me to read it after so many years. That actually changed my life, and not to make any excuses on why I didn't read another book, but I feel like that I'm still doing stuff based off just that book. So just imagine when I start reading more, which I'm gonna start doing so.
he just turned 6. His
Oh,
name's Mason. I think he might be listening.
that's awesome. Oh,
Way
hi,
to go,
Mason.
That's awesome.
Oh, well, you're doing an incredible job, Caitlin. I mean, the hard thing is it's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just that the numbers are kind of stacked against you. And
For
so,
sure.
like George said, an option of bringing in more. I mean, right now the job market is just insane. And so I would push and look to see if you can even, I mean, 40 grand, you're doing fine. But man, people are paying just insane amounts of money right now for jobs, and since yours is not like very specifically specialized, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you could do all sorts of things, even with the experience that you've had in this insurance role. So, I don't know if it's looking for something else or a different apartment, but one of those two things really probably it needs to shift for your own sanity, Caitlin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to
Even
have
temporarily.
to have the numbers work for you.
Imagine being able to build anything
Damn,
just
it's
by
kind of
thinking about
sad,
it.
man, because
Meet Base 44.
that's like
It's going to be a
life.
big deal.
Do you
You
have
know
an
what I'm saying?
emergency fund, Caitlin?
No.
I do, yeah.
Okay, 3 to 6 months in there.
I still have my baby one. I have a $1,000 emergency fund, and then I have about $4,000 in my actual emergency fund. So I still
Okay.
need to build that up.
Not
Okay.
bad.
I think building that up may help with a little bit of that financial peace and anxiety about what if something happens, if one check doesn't come in, what are we going to do? And if you get that in place, then I'm going to start saving up for a house slowly. And I know it's hard because there's not a lot of margin right now, but that feels like it's the long-term goal. And I'm hoping that all of this craziness is not forever. And so a year from now, hopefully we're looking at a very different picture. And you are work from home, and so that does open you up, but I know you've got to still stay close to home because of the situation with your son. And so there's not a ton of options here other than let's look at the budget. Let's do a budget audit. Where can we save every single insurance premium, every single expense? I'm going through that with a fine-tooth comb going, how can I shave off $10, $20, $30?
Yeah, absolutely. And then the income, income and apartment situations would change too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're doing a great job,
Yeah.
Caitlin. You really are. You're doing a great job for where you're at.
Yeah.
Incredible. No debt. You have savings. I mean, all of it. You really are. But that 60%, that hurts me.
It's a tough situation.
Mhm.
And this inflation stuff, I mean, it's hitting people all over their pocketbooks,
Yep.
from rent to gas to food. And so you just batten down the hatches and let's get to work. Let's get the second job if we have to. Let's trim the subscriptions that we're not using right now. And
For sure.
all the little luxuries that we once enjoyed might need to go away temporarily.
Sacrificing,
For a
man.
season, because they're saying, I read a report, and they think in the next 18 months with just even the supply chain, all of that. But I'm like, I mean, the hard thing is after 2 years, I've just learned, who knows? Like,
Who knows? That's right.
I
We can
remember
predict all day.
April of 2020 doing Instagram lives. I did one like every other day just to answer questions. And I remember I said, "Hi guys, I think by August
This will all be
it's
over.
all going to be over."
Here we are.
So I'm not predicting anything, but I think you just have to prepare with where we're at,
Yeah.
the reality of what's going on, and what sucks is that means cutting back some because the numbers, everything is going up.
Yeah. And if you're single, you don't have kids, there's more options because we can go, all right, let's get you a roommate.
Yeah.
Now, it's more difficult when you have a family, when you've got
Yeah.
kids involved. It's not that simple.
Right.
But if you work from home, that can open you up to a lot of options too. And you may not want to live on the outskirts of town, but temporarily for a year, if we have to sign that lease to go, all right, we can now breathe and still hit our other financial goals, I'm okay with that.
And it's
I
amazing
got a
what
good
peace of
point I wanna
mind
make after
even
this.
does, right? Like we can talk about the numbers and the percentages and all of that all day long, but there is just something to be said about when you do have margin, it gives you a level of peace, like a level of like you can take a breath. And sometimes it's worth the things you never thought you would do. I never would live this far from wherever, right? People make these claims. And then when life starts hitting you and you think, okay, is it now I would rather live farther away
Yeah.
and actually have peace of mind and
Facts.
margin and enjoy life a little bit more than everything just getting sucked out of the paycheck.
There's so much out of our control too, and so I always like to go, what is in my control?
Yeah.
So in Caitlin's situation, if I'm anyone listening right now, I'm going, all right, let me make a list of ways I can make more and ways I can spend less. I'm gonna make a list of 5 things, and I'm gonna go, okay, which one can I go do this week, this month, and just start trying things. What can I sell on Facebook Marketplace that's been sitting in the closet for a while? What is that second job I can take for a few months to just supplement my income temporarily?
Yeah.
And so if you start doing all of that, and that's why I love the budget audit, it's kind of a real nerdy thing, but you go, man, I'm way overpaying for auto insurance. Let me connect with Xander, and oh my gosh, I just saved $100 right there.
That
You start
right
doing
there
that
is
in all
enough.
areas. We've talked about this on your show, Rachel, with cable and internet. And
Yeah.
how can we start shaving all of this down, our phone bills, to where now we have $200 a month
Yes.
in margin, and we
Yep.
can breathe a little bit.
Yep.
And it's not easy. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's
No,
just
but it's the stuff that's the kind of the auto draft, the auto pay, where you're just like, oh, and then you look up 2 years and you're like, wow, I've never pushed on that or seen that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And doing that, it does. It gives you some more margin.
yeah, you got to add.
So as we all know, and based even on this video, you can tell that the most expensive bill in every household is what? Probably your rent, right? So what I would recommend it, which they did perfectly fine, especially keeping her uplifted and inspired. I would have probably recommended seeing if there are grants for first time home buyers. Because if you can get a $30,000 grant on a $250,000 home, that's going to cover pretty much all your closing costs. You might only have to come out of pocket like $1,000. That's what happened with me. The house I bought was 90,000. At the time, the market was like in pretty good shape. The house wasn't the best, but it was already rented. It was a duplex, so that's the biggest part is the duplex. Upstairs was rented for 1,000. My mortgage ended up only being $799, like a little less than $800. And so, I fixed up the bottom unit as I went. I didn't move in that instantly. I actually waited a few. I sacrificed how I was living, the luxury, just a little bit, put some new floors down, paint it. That was simple. At least enough for me to move in, right? And they paid the mortgage, which saved me, in her case would be $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. So rent the upstairs out, live in the downstairs, and look, I made some profit actually because I didn't have to pay rent or mortgage. So that's always something to consider. That's something that I always recommend to people is that process is called house hacking. All right, so we just keep dropping gems. Shout out to the Dave Ramsey Show because they let you react to their shit. It's fire. Thank you.